In this video, we'll be taking a look at one college football game happening on January 9th, 2025, and providing you with a free team pick and total pick for this game, so 2 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on this one college football game after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Notre Dame versus Penn State. The college football playoff semifinals are set to take place on Thursday night, featuring a thrilling matchup between the number 7 Notre Dame Fighting Irish and the number 6 Penn State Nittany Lions. These two powerhouse programs, who have a long history of competition, have not faced each other since 2007. Notre Dame earned their spot in this semifinal by defeating the number 2 Georgia Bulldogs 23-10, overcoming a 1.5-point underdog status. On the other side, Penn State triumphed over the number 3 Boise State Broncos with a dominant 31-14 victory, covering the 11.5-point spread as favorites. This exciting game will be held at the Orange Bowl in Hard Rock Stadium, located in Miami Gardens. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish have an impressive 13-1 record this season, following their recent victory over Georgia. In that game, Notre Dame overcame an early 3-0 deficit to score 20 unanswered points, securing a 23-10 win. Despite being outgained by Georgia 300-244, Notre Dame excelled in the turnover battle, coming out on top 2-0. The Fighting Irish struggled on third down, converting only 4 of their 14 attempts, but still managed to hold on for the victory. Earlier in the playoffs, Notre Dame secured a 27-17 win over Indiana, where they controlled the majority of the game but allowed 14 late points to the Hoosiers. In addition to their playoff victories, Notre Dame also boasts wins over strong opponents such as Texas Agricultural and Mechanical, Purdue, Miami, Ohio, Louisville, Stanford, Georgia Tech, Navy, Florida State, Virginia, Army, and USC, with their only loss coming in a narrow 16-14 defeat to NIU. Offensively, the Irish have been a force, averaging 39 points per game with 189.1 passing yards and 217.5 rushing yards per game. On defense, they have allowed just 14 points per game this season, making them one of the top defensive units in the country. The Penn State Nittany Lions are also 13-2 this year, following a 31-14 victory over Boise State in their most recent game. Penn State led 17-7 at halftime, but Boise State made a push in the third quarter, cutting the lead to 17-14. However, Penn State responded by scoring the final 14 points to secure the win. Despite being outgained 412-387, the Nittany Lions were dominant in the turnover battle, winning 4-1 and managed to convert 5 of 13 third down attempts. In the first round of the playoffs, Penn State cruised to a 38-10 victory over SMU, showing their offensive strength throughout the game. The Nittany Lions have also picked up victories against strong teams such as West Virginia, Bowling Green, Kent State, Illinois, UCLA, USC, Wisconsin, Washington, Purdue, Minnesota, and Maryland, with their 2 losses coming at the hands of Ohio State and Oregon. Penn State's offense has been highly productive, averaging 35 points per game with 234.1 passing yards and 202.2 rushing yards per game. Defensively, they have allowed just 16 points per game, ranking them among the best defensive units in the nation. The college football playoff bracket's bottom half will feature the 6th-seeded Penn State Nittany Lions facing the 7th-seeded Notre Dame Fighting Irish, with the winner advancing to the national championship in less than 2 weeks. Both teams have been incredibly impressive on their path to this semifinal round, and the matchup promises to be an evenly contested game, with both teams showcasing strength on both sides of the ball. Given that, I am inclined to support the underdog in this highly anticipated game between 2 traditional powerhouses in college football. Notre Dame was a team I was confident in backing against Georgia in the quarterfinals, and while the Irish largely dominated the trenches in that game, they benefited from some key plays, including a kickoff return for a touchdown and a crucial Georgia turnover inside their own 20-yard line, which led to a pivotal Notre Dame touchdown. Despite the Irish winning the turnover battle 2-0, they were outgained in first downs and averaged just 3.9 yards per play, which raises some concerns heading into a matchup with one of the nation's top 10 defenses. While Notre Dame's impressive season statistics cannot be solely attributed to a soft schedule, playing their their second consecutive game against a top 6 opponent in just 7 days presents a significant challenge. Furthermore, Marcus Freeman's team is at a disadvantage with 2 fewer days of rest compared to their opponent, which is especially critical after playing such a physical game against Georgia. Additionally, Notre Dame's injury situation is concerning, as key players have already been sidelined in the playoff, and now they are dealing with an injured Jeremy Love at running back, who seemed far from fully healthy in the previous game. Considering that the ground game is the cornerstone of their offense, this injury does not bode well for them against a Penn State defense that ranks 4th in EPA per rush and 7th in points per drive allowed this season. Initially, I had concerns about whether all-world edge rusher Abdul Carter would be able to play in this game, but his social media activity suggests that he will indeed suit up, which is a huge boost for the Penn State defense. The Nittany Lions are also excellent against the pass, ranking in the top 15 for both success rate and opponent EPA per pass. Given these defensive capabilities, it seems unlikely that Riley Leonard will have many opportunities to attack the Penn State defense effectively. Moreover, Penn State excels at staying ahead of the chains on offense, largely thanks to their elite ground game with running backs Nick Singleton and Katron Allen in the backfield. While Notre Dame's defense is strong and just put together a solid effort against Georgia, they can be vulnerable against the run, which should allow Penn State's offensive coordinator, Andy Kotelnicki, to emphasize a run-first game plan and exploit any weaknesses in the Irish front seven. This game will mark the 20th all-time meeting between these two prestigious programs, with the first 19 matchups split evenly 9-9-1. However, it's been quite some time since they last faced off, with the last game taking place in 2007 when Penn State won 31-10 in the regular season. One of the most notable aspects of both teams is their impressive rushing offenses, as both average over 200 yards per game on the ground. Penn State has shown superior performance in defending the run, as evidenced by their ability to shut down 2,000-yard running back Ashton Jeanty in the Fiesta Bowl. Fortunately for Penn State, it appears that Abdul Carter will be available for this matchup, which is crucial to strengthening their front line against Notre Dame's formidable rushing attack. However, the Irish might be without their top running back, and even if Love does play, his knee injury could limit his effectiveness. This matchup is set in a high-stakes setting, and with so much on the line, it promises to be a tight contest that may come down to the final possession. So the Penn State Nittany Lions to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both teams have favored a run-heavy approach in the playoffs so far, and it's likely that we'll see a game script dominated by the ground game on early downs, with both coaching staffs focused on avoiding costly mistakes and controlling field position. This kind of game script is ideal for the under, as it would result in a lot of clock management, with fewer opportunities for either defense to force turnovers and set up their offense with a short field. Furthermore, given the high stakes of this matchup, both offenses can be expected to start slowly, as demonstrated by Notre Dame's conservative approach against Georgia in the quarterfinals and Penn State's inconsistent offensive play when moving away from their power running game against Boise State. As such, the emphasis will likely be on ground and pound from both teams, and the statistics back up this approach, with both teams ranking in the top 30 for rush rate nationally. Notre Dame's games against Indiana and Georgia went under the total, and similarly, Penn State's games against Indiana and Boise State did the same. All 4 of their college football playoff games have gone under the total, and I expect that trend to continue here. Both teams rely heavily on the ground game, with Notre Dame boasting 3 rushers with over 700 yards, including their quarterback, and Penn State having 2 backs who have surpassed 1,000 yards. This game will be won in the trenches, which will help keep the clock moving and shorten the game. Penn State only took occasional deep shots against Boise State, and those opportunities will likely be fewer in this matchup, as Notre Dame boasts the second best defense in the nation in terms of points allowed per game. Penn State is not far behind, ranking 7th in defensive scoring. Given the close spread and both coaches playing conservatively early on, this game is expected to be tightly contested throughout. Notre Dame extended their winning streak with a dominant double-digit victory over Georgia, and their defense has been stellar all season. While the Fighting Irish do not have a dynamic passing game, their ground attack has been a major strength. Similarly, Penn State features a powerful ground game with Allen and Singleton, suggesting that we will see a lot of running plays. I expect this game to be won in the trenches, with both teams relying heavily on their running backs. While Notre Dame managed to win against a banged-up Georgia offense, I expect Penn State to be a much tougher and more competitive opponent. Penn State's defense shut down a strong ground attack in the Fiesta Bowl, and I anticipate they will do the same against Notre Dame's rushing game. Overall, we should expect a battle with few touchdown drives for either side. Both teams have outstanding defenses, and with both offenses focused on establishing establishing the run, I predict a lower scoring affair. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.